Welcome to the Bookworm Duo, where we explore a variety of books. Let's get started. We are diving deep, just for you, into Nora Roberts' The Mirror, the book you shared. Today, we're going on a chronological journey through the story, hitting those big moments that really make it tick. Think of us as your guides through all the drama. So we start with Sonia McTavish, who inherits this old manor in Maine. You know, those inheritances in books, they're rarely simple. This one, it takes a pretty supernatural turn.
Oh, it definitely does. Sonia's barely moved in, and boom, she finds something wild in the Manor's library. Not just any old mirror, no, this one's a portal straight to the past. It's amazing how this everyday object can hold so much power, right?
It really is. And Sonia's first trip through the mirror is quite the experience. She's suddenly at Lisbeth Poole's wedding reception in 1916. And she's not alone. Oh, and the local lawyer, he's there too. He's been helping Sonia with the estate. Imagine, suddenly you're in a historical wedding. All the clothes, the music, and get this, they realize they're invisible. They're watching this whole thing play out, but they can't interact with anyone.
They're like ghosts witnessing this historical event but unable to change anything. It's like watching a play that takes a dark turn pretty fast. They see Lisbeth die, tragically, right there at her reception, and they know there's nothing they can do. They're too late to save her from this, well, evil presence. Someone they'll later figure out is Hester Dobbs.
And in that moment, Sonia, her reaction is really interesting. She sees this horrible thing happen. No, she can't stop it. But her first instinct is to stop Hester Dobbs from taking Lisbeth's wedding ring. Almost like she understands even then how important these rings are. There are 7 of them, and it seems like she knows they're crucial. And the experience of being in the past, it's not easy. It's like trying to walk through mud. They feel these electric shocks, chills, like they're not supposed to be there.
It shows how disruptive time travel really is. It's not a smooth ride, it's a fight. Sonia focusing on the ring, that's really something. It's like she has this deeper connection to the manor, something she doesn't even realize yet. What do you think is driving her?
It's a great question. And they actually see Hester Dobbs, and she's just radiating darkness, taking Lisbeth's ring right as the bride collapses. Sonia tries to stop her, but she's thrown back by, well, something unseen. That really drives home how dangerous Dobbs is, not just to the people in the past, but maybe to Sonia and Owen, too.
Absolutely. This isn't just a ghost story. This is something that can affect the living. It makes you wonder, what exactly is Dobbs, and how can she be so powerful?
Back in the present, Sonia starts figuring things out about Owen's family. Turns out, he's the son of her father's twin brother. Talk about a plot twist. And she realizes this is connected to the mirror. Her father, his twin, both artists, they must have had some kind of link to this mirror. Maybe they even met through it as kids. Cleo, Sonia's friend, calls it twin memory, this idea of a deep connection between twins.
This adds a whole other layer to the family story, right? The mirror being a bridge for the twins. That opens up so many possibilities about what it really is and what it can do. And twin memory, whether it's real or not, it's a great way to explain those strange connections in the story.
It's exactly. So Sonia shares all this with Cleo and Trey, who's Owen's cousin. And Cleo says something pretty important. Their goal, she says, isn't to save the brides. I mean, that would be a whole time travel paradox mess. But to find all 7 of their rings, that's the key to breaking Hester Dobbs' curse and getting her out of the house. Problem is, Dobbs probably has most, if not all, of those rings already.
This totally changes their mission. It's not about changing the past, it's about fixing the present. But the past holds the key. Those rings, they're like the pieces to a puzzle. And it makes you wonder, what's so special about them?
Now, while all this supernatural stuff is happening, life still goes on, at least for Sonia. She's got her graphic design business. She's working on this big project for Writer Sports. She's settling into a routine with Cleo, their dogs Yoda and Pi, and later on Trey's dog Mookie joins the crew. They're planting gardens, having dinners. They're making the manor their home, even with all the weirdness.
It's interesting, isn't it? This normal life against this supernatural backdrop. It grounds the characters, makes them relatable, and it shows how strong they are, making a life for themselves despite everything.
But the house, it has its own personality. They start seeing more paranormal things, and it often happens when the grandfather clock strikes 3. Sonia even feels drawn to the past when she hears it. They even talk about how to use the house better, with Sonia maybe setting up a separate office from her studio. It's like the house is becoming a character itself.
That clock, it's like a bridge between times. And the more paranormal stuff that happens, it's like Dobbs is getting restless. Maybe she doesn't like them settling in.
And speaking of not liking it, Cleo decides to have an open house on the 2nd Saturday of June. And Dobbs, oh, she is not happy. Slamming doors, weird noises, the works. a real ghostly tantrum.
That's Dobbs being direct, even if it's in a spooky way. But Cleo opening up the manor, that's brave. Bringing in people, life, maybe that can weaken Dobbs's grip on the place.
Then Trey sees something really creepy. He's keeping watch one night around 3 in the morning, and he sees a figure, probably Hester Dobbs, jump from the seawall. It's confirmation of how she died and that she's tied to that time.
It's a major clue. It tells them about Dobbs's death, that 3 a.m. is important. Maybe she's reliving that moment every night.
Now, Sonia's learning more about the Poole family, and things are getting complicated. Greta Poole? Well, turns out she pretended to be Colin Poole's mother. That's a huge lie. And when they think about why, it seems like it was jealousy, wanting power, not real love for Colin. There's also Patricia Youngsborough, who married into the family but refused to live in the manor. Kept it closed up for 20 years. That's a big red flag, right?
It's also messy. Greta's lies, Patricia's fear of the house, it's like there's more darkness in the manor's history than just Dobbs. Maybe there are other secrets, other sad stories that still linger.
Definitely. And then Deuce Doyle, Trey's dad. He's a bit of a history buff, especially about the Poole family. He goes to see Sonia, and they talk about Greta and Patricia. Deuce offers to help Sonia learn more, and he mentions Colin having dreams about the mirror and a boy who looked just like him. More hints about those twins and their connection.
Deuce is a great resource. He knows the local history, and Colin's dreams, they just reinforce how important that mirror is and how families are connected to it across time.
And the paranormal stuff doesn't let up. Servant bells ring in the gold room. That's definitely Dobbs. But then Sonia finds signs that someone's been looking after the dogs. Cabinet doors closed, little things. It's like a friendly ghost is their dog sitter.
That's a nice change, right? Not all the ghosts are bad. Maybe there are good spirits too, and it tells us more about the people who lived there before.
Then, another discovery. In the garden shed, Sonia finds a portrait of Lisbeth Poole. But it's the style. The same style as portraits of Clover and Johanna, 2 other brides. And then the realization, not just Colin Poole, but Sonia's own father, they both used the mirror to go back in time and paint these women who died before they were born, an artistic link across time. They decide to hang the portraits together in the music room, a way of honoring them.
That's such a big reveal. It connects Sonia and her family to the mirror even more. Both Colin and her dad could travel to the past, create art. Maybe they had a shared purpose, something to do with the manor. Putting up the portraits, that's a powerful thing to do.
They have Trey and Owen over for dinner one night. A bit of normal life. But after they hang the new portrait, things get spooky. Clock strikes 3, piano music, Sonia hears crying, but no pull to the cast this time. But then the balcony doors fly open and this freezing wind sweeps through. Dobbs is still there, letting them know.
It's that push and pull, good and bad energy. The music, the crying, that's the past trying to reach them. And then the wind, that's Dobbs, a reminder she's not gone.
Sonia and Cleo talk about all this, the portraits especially, and they think that by acknowledging the brides, remembering them, they might be helping them somehow. They even start noticing small things being done around the house, like little bits of help.
It's like they're building a connection with the good spirits, showing respect to the past. Maybe that's making the house more peaceful. And maybe it weakens Dobbs's power a little.
Then, a face-to-face with Dobbs. In the gold room, she actually appears to Sonia, talks about Poole blood. Sonia's terrified, but she stands her ground. She realizes Dobbs is trapped, reliving her death over and over.
This is a huge moment. Sonia sees how angry Dobbs is, how tied to the family she is, and Sonia facing her fear, that's a sign of how strong she's becoming.
After that, Trey makes jambalaya for dinner, comfort food, and they notice something. When they're calm, the paranormal stuff seems to quiet down. Cleo even uses white sage to smudge the house, and it seems to help.
It's like their emotions affect the house, and maybe some rituals can help too. If they can create a peaceful atmosphere, maybe they can keep Dobbs at bay.
Owen admits he's been going out every night around 3 a.m., watching the house, feeling the changes. Dobbs is most active then.
Another clue. Dobbs tied to that specific time. Owen's dedication, it shows how much he cares about Sonia and Cleo and how serious this whole thing is.
Even the cat, Pie, is sensitive to the paranormal stuff. They wonder, is Dobbs forced to relive her death every night? It's a scary thought.
The cat feeling it, it just shows how much energy is in the house. And Dobbs reliving that awful moment, that adds another layer of horror to the whole story.
Deuce brings his brother, Ace Poole, and Ace's wife, Paula, to meet Sonia and Cleo. They share more family history, stories about the manor, more pieces to the puzzle.
Getting different perspectives, it helps them understand the manor better, all the different ways it's affected the family over the years.
Sonia has to get back to the real world. She's working on her proposal for Ryder Sports. Cleo's helping her. She goes to Boston, gives the presentation, and even with a run-in with her ex-fiancé, she knocks it out of the park. Work-life balance, even with ghosts.
Shows how strong Sonia is, dealing with ghosts and presentations. The ex-fiancé, that's just a bit of real-life drama thrown in.
But the past keeps creeping in. Sonia's having these intense dreams. She feels like she's going back in time, seeing moments in the lives of Clover and her father Drew, Lisbeth and Edward. These dreams are so real they shake her up, but she understands the manor and the people in it so much better.
It's like the past is reaching out to her, showing her things, making her feel it all. It makes her more determined to figure things out, to bring peace to the manor.
Sonia and Cleo go to see Greta Poole at the care facility. They want to know more, but Greta, she's not the frail old lady they expected. She's angry, bitter. It confirms that she's not who they thought she was. Her past is full of secrets and manipulation.
Greta's true colors come out. She's not this harmless figure anymore. It adds a layer of complexity to the whole family history.
For a different perspective, Sonia meets Clarice Poole, a distant relative. She gives a more objective view of the family, including Patricia's real fear of the manor and how difficult Greta was. It's good to hear both sides, you know.
Clarice helps balance things out. She gives a clearer picture, not clouded by personal feelings. Helps Sonia piece everything together.
A bit of happy news. Cleo's pregnant with Trey's baby, and they're making a nursery in the manor, turning an old room into a space full of hope for the future. New life in this old house. It's beautiful.
The nursery, it represents hope, a fresh start. Life going on in this house, it's seen so much sadness. It's a powerful image.
But the ghosts don't forget about them. One wild night, Sonia, Cleo, and Trey find a ghost couple in Cleo's bed. It's funny, a moment of lightness in all the creepiness.
Just a reminder that not all ghosts are scary, and that you never know what to expect in this house.
The open house is getting closer, everyone's helping get things ready, and even then there are these little paranormal things happen, just little reminders that they're not alone.
It's like the ghosts are curious, maybe a little mischievous.
Sonia finds a beautiful compact in the library. She feels like she brought it back from the past, and afterwards she feels dizzy and weak. Those trips through the mirror are taking a toll on her.
Maybe there are consequences to messing with time. The compact appearing, it means things can travel between times. And maybe Sonia's paying a price for it.
Sonia tells them about a time she went through the mirror and saw Patricia Poole in the past. Patricia was terrified, and Dobbs was threatening her. Now they understand why Patricia was so scared of the manor.
That explains so much. Seeing Patricia's fear, Dobbs's power over her, no wonder she stayed away from the house.
Owen goes back to see Greta, hoping for more info, but he sees her anger firsthand. He gets it now, how deep her resentment runs, how much she lied. Greta leaves a mark on everyone who meets her.
Owen sees the real Greta. It just makes the whole family history even more messed up.
Then a storm hits the manor. A bad one, and it seems like it's supernatural, focused on the gold room. Cleo, she forgets everything and runs into the storm to protect Pie, the cat. Thank goodness they're both okay, but it's a wake-up call. Dobbs is dangerous.
That storm, it's Dobbs showing her power. And Cleo putting herself in danger for the cat, that's real love and bravery. It was a close one.
After the storm, Owen has a dream. Colin Poole talks to him through a chess game. He tells Owen to protect the White Queen, which they think means Sonia or the manor, and to get rid of the Black Queen, which is Dobbs. A message from beyond the grave.
It's guidance, encouragement. The chess game, it's a metaphor for their fight against Dobbs. They have to be smart, brave, and protect what's important.
On a happier note, Owen finishes Cleo's boat, and she names it the Siren, a symbol of life outside the manor, adventures to come.
The boat's a good thing, a connection to the outside world, something fun and free, especially after being trapped in the house for so long.
Sonia's walking in the woods, and she has a vision. She sees Dobbs murdering Arthur Poole. And it hits her, Dobbs' goal was always the manor, not revenge on the brides. She wants the house for herself.
The final piece of the puzzle clicks into place. Dobbs' motive, it all makes sense now. It was never personal. It was always about power, owning the manor.
Armed with this knowledge, Sonia, Cleo, and Owen, they make a plan. They're not just reacting anymore. They're going to fight back, try to weaken Dobbs' hold on the house.
It's a turning point. They're not scared victims anymore. They're taking control, using what they've learned to fight back.
The open house is a huge success. People everywhere, friends, family, locals. It's full of life and laughter. They're fighting back against Dobbs just by celebrating in the house.
The power of positivity, right? Filling the house with good energy, good people. It's like a shield against Dobbs's darkness.
In the middle of all the fun, Sonia smells wildflowers, a scent she connects to her father and the manor, a comforting reminder of family.
A sweet moment. The scent, it's like her father's spirit is there, happy that the house is full of life again.
After the open house, the manor feels more peaceful, like the joy and laughter chased away some of the darkness.
Their efforts worked. Bringing in all that good energy, it's calmed things down, at least for now.
Cleo makes a big announcement. She's pregnant.
Mm.
A new generation coming to the manor, a sign of hope for the future.
New life, new beginnings. It's like a promise that the manor will have a happy future despite its dark past.
Trey mentions seeing someone at the party who looked just like Sonia's father. A reminder of how connected they all are now, through all they've been through.
They're a family now, bound by this shared experience, protecting the manor together.
They all take the Siren, Cleo's boat, out for a sail. Fun, friendship, a moment of freedom.
A well-deserved break, fun, laughter, leaving the manor behind for a bit. It's a good thing.
The book ends with a diary entry from Johanna Poole, written years ago. She's happy, in love with Colin, excited about raising their family in the manor. A beautiful ending, full of love and hope.
A nice reminder that the manor has seen good times too. Love, family, that's part of its story too. It leaves you feeling hopeful.
So we've gone through the whole story of the mirror. Sonia inheriting the manor, that amazing mirror, Hester Dobbs, the friendships that help her face it all. It's a story about how the past shapes the present, how families and places are connected. What stuck with you? Did the mirror surprise you? What about Dobbs's motives? It makes you think about how strong people can be, how important connection is. We hope this deep dive made you want to reread the book, see it in a new light.
It's amazing how Sonia went from inheriting a house to being caught in this supernatural battle. It shows how much power the past can have. And for you, listening, think about this. What do you think was the key to Sonia and her friends facing all those challenges? Was it courage? Their smarts? Or maybe the love and support they found in each other?
Thanks for joining us. Subscribe for more bookish adventures and hit that like button if you enjoyed the ride. Don't forget to share the knowledge, spread the word.